All right, let's go. Welcome to another episode of the Transform Sales podcast. Today I'm with Martin, sales leader from FlowChat, so we can talk a little bit about how FlowChat helps agency owners manage social media DMs. Martin, how you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for
Oh,
having me.
awesome. Yeah, it's great to have you on another episode of the Sales Software Review series. Martin, today we want to talk about FlowChat. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit, in this case, probably agency owners that may be listening, why don't you tell them what FlowChat is for?
For sure. FlowChat is the software that you want to use to manage the DMs in social media, because our mission is to revolutionize the way people DM in social media. And we do this by empowering them with AI and automations while keeping the human touch alive.
Amazing.
So we have a lot of features, and I'm going to dive through the three main pillars, but that's an overview of what we do.
Okay, amazing. Now, let me ask you something before we jump into the demo. What were agency owners typically using to manage social media DMs if they were using anything?
Basically, this is our story. Before using FlowChat, we were tracking our conversations in the DMs with a spreadsheet. And once we started scaling and going with other social media platforms and everything, the spreadsheet became horribly, it was unmanageable. So we created this to first take out the mess out of Messenger, because we want to keep our conversations organized. But also then many solutions and alternatives are presented for each social media platform. So we created one solution for every social media platform. Right now we're in 14. We support 14 social media platforms. So
Wow.
instead of using one for each social media platform to manage your DMs and automate your DMs, you can use just one.
That's amazing, because that was going to be my next question. What was the typical challenge with not using anything, using pen and paper, or as you said, using spreadsheets to manage the DM? So it can become confusing. It can quickly grow into a big mess if you're handling multiple channels or multiple social platforms. I believe that's what you were saying, and how Flow Chat has included you. Did you mention, was it 14 or 16 social media platforms that you can manage all the DMs in one single place?
Yeah, for sure. We're in 14 social media platforms right now. And the main challenges that we had were that we were losing deals through the cracks of the DMs because we couldn't track them. And
Hmm.
we saw a lot of business owners and agency owners specifically losing track of their deals. For instance, they were publishing paid ads, and they had a lot of likers and commenters, but
Mhm.
low opt-in rate. So they started messaging all these likers and commenters, but they didn't know when to follow up. And doing it manually took like 38 clicks. And we reduced this to only 1 or 2 clicks, depending on your process. But those are the main challenges that you want to optimize.
Sounds amazing. And I bet if there's an agency in the audience looking at this episode thinking, how can you guys manage all the different platforms with all the different nuances that maybe there's LinkedIn versus Instagram versus others? So why don't we jump into a screen share and you give us a quick demo of what are the main features that agency owners really love when it comes to using FlowChat to manage social media DMs?
Sweet, for sure. I'm gonna walk you through right now the three main pillars that we have. And before hopping into the demo, I just want to explain it to you. So we have three main pillars. Pillar number one is a universal import button. So we can import leads from social media from everywhere, like likers, commenters, group members, or right now we have the poll voters into the pipeline view, which is our second pillar. With the pipeline view, we can keep organize every stage of the conversation, and we can organize how we communicate. And pillar
Mhm.
number three, which is my favorite, is basically a reporting, so tracking, because what you don't measure, you don't improve. So with this, it analyzes every card in every stage, and it tells you how many cards you're moving into every stage, how many are converting, like becoming clients or booking a call or just answering to your question or opting to a lead magnet. So you know where to improve and how to do it. So these are our three main pillars and how we our key features. I'm gonna run through some automations, some cool automations that we have, but I just wanted to give you this clear picture of what we do.
Amazing, makes sense. So number one, very easy to upload leads regardless of the social media platform that you're using. Number two, it's almost like having a CRM for DMs, right? Like you'll be able to understand where every conversation is, what is the stage, what should be the next step based on whatever your sales process or whatever sales process you have in place as an agency for your clients that you may be managing the accounts for. And lastly, a reporting dashboard so you can show your clients the progress, keep them or give them the high level visibility that they need to see while you and your team continue to operate and execute your, let's say, sales strategies again to convert sales for your clients through DMs. I love it. Let's go ahead and, in that case, start a screen share and show us those three main features.
For sure. So let's go right now. I'm going to cover the pipeline view first. So let me know when you can see my screen.
Perfect. Yes, we can see it.
So welcome to FlowChat. I love saying this. In here, you can see pillar number 2. This is our pipeline view. And as you can see, we have multiple card colors because multiple team members can use this exact same flow to send the messages and book a call in this case. So for example, this one is our Facebook group, as you can see here, pipeline flow. So inside our pipeline, you will have the ability to, for example, in each stage, you will be able to put an SOP. So your team members know exactly how to operate, which is very important. And we also can store messages in here. So we can assign a template in here so you can check it out. Also, we have some cool automations. So for each platform, we have different automations, but I'm going to walk you through them in a bit. Then the pillar number 1 was the extension, which I really love. As you can see, we play in all these social media platforms. We are at 14 right now. And the main ones are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, but we have Telegram, Discord, and so others. Yeah, but what you can do is that you can go into, for example, Facebook, that I can plug in right now, and you can import people from. I'm gonna show you the example of group members in this case, and then we will go through comments and likes. So, for example, right now, this is our Facebook group. You are all invited to join. We love to networking here. But for example, if you go to a Facebook group and you go to members, you will see this little box displaying in here. This is also our extension. And in this case, it wants to import a group member. So you can even filter job title if you want to be more specific. But what we usually like to do, for example, here in Facebook is going into members with things in common. So you click here and you will have a lot of qualified leads. And if you want to target only CEOs, you only want to put it in here and only the CEOs will appear. So as you can see, we have right now 3 profiles. With this pink button, you can actually auto scroll to collect more people. And once you're happy with what you got, you just click import and you will be able to, first of all, put a note on it because you want to track where you pull these leads from. You can pull a deal amount and even a follow-up date and select the pipeline. And just with that, with one click, you will be importing everyone in this pipeline. So this is how we do it. And for example, if we go to a post, for example, in this case, we have 32 likes in here. Let's imagine this is an ad that you just posted on social media and you have 32 well, 34 commenters, likers, sorry. So once you pull the likers, this our extension tells you that you want to import likes, and you just do the same process, auto scroll down, and then you just one click import everyone into your pipeline. So that's exactly how you want to do it. And last but not least, we have the reports in here, and the reports tell you how many messages you're sending, how many initial messages, how many people opted into the Facebook group, how many calls you booked, and you know where to improve. So this is highly important. And yeah, this is our three main pillars. But what I like the most about this is our automations right now, because it reduces the amount of clicks that you need to take. So if you're an agency owner and you just uploaded an ad and you have a lot of likers and commenters, or you even posted shared a post and you have a lot of engagement, you can import them and you can come here. And with this automation in here, we have our auto qualify profile, because you want to send messages only to highly qualified people. So
Mm-hmm.
as you can see here on Facebook, we have all these automations like auto qualify, like a page. You have all these, but specifically our qualify profile, based on these exact parameters, you will be able to only have qualified leads in your pipeline. So, for example, if you only want to talk to people who are active on the platform, this works really well on LinkedIn, for example. You
Mm-hmm.
can tell the automation that you want people that have at least one post in the last 60 days or 10 days or 7 days. You can select the countries that you are targeting, and you want to even select the keywords in their intro or bio. So you only send these messages to people that are highly targeted. And if you want to go even deeper, the automation can look for keywords in the post, in the content that they are posting. So if you're just targeting, for example, SEO agencies, you can just put here SEO, and the automation will look for that and will just qualify these people. So once the automation is done, they will move this into the qualified stage. And in here, for example, as you can see, our automation likes the profile, a post in the profile, sends a friend request, and send a direct message, and then moves the card to the next stage. So once you get a reply, for example, you will have this blinking dot in order to know who you have to reply, who you have to take action. And
Nice.
actually, you can even click in here in the open last messages and have an overview of what the conversation is about before even jumping into the DMs. And to jump into the DMs, you will only have to click this button right here. So with this button, with the Facebook logo button, you will go to their profile. And with this one, you will go directly to the DMs. So this is how FlowChat works. We are not a bot. So FlowChat does the clicks for you, right? So
Mhm.
what FlowChat does is it goes to the profile, and we just right click paste the message that we had stored in that stage of the pipeline, and then it sends it right here. And then the what FlowChat does is then moves it to the next stage. So initial message sent, and now we wait. So this is an overview of what we can do, and this can be replicated in all these social media platforms. As I told you, yeah, on Instagram, LinkedIn, X, and so yeah. Do you have any questions? Anything you want to
Well,
know?
there's a couple of things I want to double click. Thank you so much for the walkthrough, Martin. There is definitely a lot of value packed into FlowChat when it comes to agencies that are managing social DMs or campaigns, running campaigns for their clients. I would say my first question is, I saw that when you were looking for the leads, you can also filter by the number of friends. some
Mhm.
of those filters that I saw there can also help these companies mitigate messaging bots, right? Like if it's a
Mhm.
fresh account, or as you showed us, if you haven't interacted in the last 60 days, then don't consider them a buyer. They're probably not even going to see the messages. So that mitigates, let's say, false positives.
Mhm.
My first question would be, do you connect with another CRM? Because I'm also potentially seeing the situation where the agency may have a CRM to run the deals. They just needed some help with the messages. So what would they do now? Do they replace their CRM and try to use this one, or do you combine with the CRM, feed it, and then it's up to them to use either this dashboard or whatever dashboard they have on their CRM? What would you recommend there, Martin?
Yeah, for sure. So we do not compete with CRMs like HubSpot or Go High Level or even Salesforce.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, we import qualified leads into the CRM. So how we integrate with them is super simple. Every FlowChat account comes with webhooks. So with webhooks, you can simply, yeah, merge both softwares. And for instance, Go High Level is one of our business partners. So we have the capability to integrate with one click to Go High Level. So this way, you won't be you won't be needing to operate FlowChat and then Go High Level. You just one click and will have Go FlowChat in your Go High Level dashboard. But you can also use it as FlowChat, and with webhooks, you can integrate it easily with other CRMs. So this is how we roll.
That's fantastic. I also noticed that aside from managing the interactions, you can also automate some actions like liking, probably resharing. I don't know how, as far as commenting, could commenting be automated as well? Like I can set up an automation and a trigger that if something happens, send X message. I can do that, right?
Mhm. Yeah, that actually one of the key features that we're launching this month. So this is called the automation queue. And right now, what it's gonna do is send messages based on, for example, the time of the day. But then it's gonna do a trigger-based automation. So if I receive, for example, if someone likes my profile, I will yeah, send a friend request, and then I will send a message to them and import them into my CRM. So that's how we're gonna do it. As for right now, we have to take the clicks, but it's also important to know this because bots usually do this automatically, right?
Mhm.
So that's how we keep the human touch alive, because you need to be present here. It's not like what most people are selling right now, like work with us and yeah, we will book 100 calls in 7 days and you won't be able to do any click. No, we actually want to connect and build a network with people, because that's how sales are done. Yeah, selling is serving and serving is connecting authentically. So yeah.
Fantastic. I also noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, since you have multiple, not only the social platforms, but the chat of these social platforms, right? Like the chat for Facebook, I saw the WhatsApp icon. I can
Mhm.
imagine that sometimes a lot of companies try to build these bots or these automated bots that give replies and give options so that people can go through almost like chat funnels on those applications. Is that something that they could also do with FlowChat?
Yeah, for sure. They can integrate with the webhooks with our platform, and they will gain one big thing, that it's the ability to track your conversations. Because usually, what bots don't know how to do is to either stop the sequence once they get a reply, or
Yes.
know when to follow up effectively. So with FlowChat, you will have the trigger, like for example, that blinking dot that I showed you. So
Hmm.
the that could even trigger the bot to take an action, and you can even see what's happening inside Messenger, so the bot can also take action there. But yeah, that's
Fantastic. Now, the reason why I was asking this is because I can imagine a situation where an agency may have some bots to, or chat bots to kind of like triage conversations or messages as they come in, but it's only that specific use case. It really does not let them manage DMs on other platforms. Maybe a bot is only for WhatsApp, but I cannot use it for TikTok. So now as an agency, I have to go get another solution and then purchase a different one for Pinterest and then purchase a different one for LinkedIn. And maybe the one then WhatsApp helps me with Twitter or X, but not on the other ones. But with FlowChat, we can bring all of those things, the chat bots, the communication on DMs, the pipeline view of all these 14 platforms into one single solution. So I like that. I wanted to ask you something. What are the tasks, deliverables, and people involved in setting up this software? And how long do you think it typically takes an agency to reach full productivity, be messaging, and converting using FlowChat?
Yeah, for sure. So what they will have to have dialed in is the messaging sequence, because they want to know, for example, if they are posting an ad, they will want to know how to nurture this conversation and convert it. So the messaging sequence is one thing. Social media, basically people, everyone has social media right now. So I think that's already checked in every
Check.
box. Yeah. And yeah, people, we usually encourage people to have a team, but as we are talking to agency owners, they already have a team. Usually solopreneurs can operate and do operate for with no problem, but usually you need a team and infrastructure to grow, because in our mind, team and systems are the backbone of consistent growth.
Mhm.
And yeah, you can have dialed in, like, we really encourage people to stay with us for at least 1 month, because in 3 weeks you will see a lot of results. If you're, for example, only doing cold outreach, in 3 weeks you will see a lot of results. But if
Mhm.
you are already having great traction with it, we've had clients that have booked like 15 calls in a couple of days, because they already had the system, they were already tracking it, but with a spreadsheet. So this upgrade helps them just explode. And it's a matter of how good your processes are. But yeah, I would say that in 1 month you will see a lot of good results with it.
Fantastic. Question: Would, let's say that as an agency, I have access to a few different social platforms, but I have, as you said, I have a large team. Could different members in my team access all those platforms through FlowChat, or is there a level of permission where, hey, only certain people or only the ones activated can see that, or is there such a limitation? Or no, yeah, if you have 17 employees in your agency, those 17 can log in into all the accounts of your clients, manage them, and help you move forward.
Yeah, for sure. You can manage it all, and to have a structure. There's a team leader who can give permission to what their team members can do and cannot within FlowChat, because a lot of agency owners have, want to treat their clients great, and for that they need clear SOPs, and the team members can do something and have like, yeah, just some capabilities to work with. So this is something that we do. But within FlowChat, for example, you mentioned having 17 clients and managing them all in one pipeline. You can do it. And with the different colors inside the pipeline, you can track by client, by color. So they will
Mm,
have access to each social media platform. What
got
we
it.
do encourage is to have one pipeline per social media platform, because that way you keep it organized.
Yeah. Now, the reason why I was asking is because mostly I've seen this with LinkedIn, where it's very sensitive to multiple people logging in into the same account. Sometimes it forces you to use a VPN because if you, let's say, live in the States, you have a LinkedIn profile, and there's people accessing it from India, France, Latin America, that may give LinkedIn the impression that something fishy is going on with the account, and they may restrict you. But it seems like that wouldn't be a problem here. Is that correct?
Yeah, of course you don't want 17 people in one profile, but yeah, you have to play by the rules,
Hmm.
and you can manage it. Like, you can check, your 17 team members can check what's happening inside FlowChat, and that's really important. So, for example, a manager is not going to go into the DMs to reply himself. So you will
Mhm.
have one person specifically doing this for the client. So the manager can check how the conversation is going and the KPIs and how good the messaging sequence is converting. And the person in charge of DMing, in this case, let's call it appointment setter, the appointment setter
Mhm.
will be taking charge inside these DMs. So yeah.
That makes sense because it used to be that only the appointment setter that could go in could see the progress, but that report comes through FlowChat to all the other team members. I like that. So I just have one last question for you, Martin, which is what are the KPIs that agency owners should be using to evaluate FlowChat and what quantifiable outcomes can they expect?
Mhm. Yeah. So
Oh, I think we
sure.
got broken a little
So
bit. If you want, we can just wait for a few
yeah.
seconds. We can wait just for a few seconds. Why don't we stop the screen share? I know my editor will clip this part, so don't worry about that. If you want, yeah, just stop the screen share for a second.
Cool.
And I'm gonna repeat the question so that my editor Mateo, if you're looking at this, please help with a quick clip. So, what would be the KPIs that you recommend agency owners use to measure the success of FlowChat, and what quantifiable outcomes should they be expecting?
That's a great question. So the main KPIs is conversion rate. Uh, and for example, if they are having 10 book calls per week, they can expect way more because they are going to have better nurturing sequence and they will be having more conversations basically. So this is the first KPI that I would say. And the second, and I love this, is the response rate that you will be having, because with FlowChat we really build relationships and connections, so they will have more meaningful connections. And I would say that quality leads in their CRM is also a big KPI, because they will be able to just chat with quality leads with their ideal persona. So I would say that we've had team members booking 10 to 15 calls per week in just 2 weeks, and we've had team members that really crush, that are doing like 40 calls per week. We've had, yeah, that amazing success. So I would say those are the quantifiable outcomes that you can expect.
That's incredible. So, more quality leads, faster response times, which will translate into better conversions, and all of that to get more revenue. Amazing, Martin. Well, this has been very insightful. Thank you so much for sharing these details about FlowChat for agency owners. If you're in the audience considering to bring FlowChat to your tech stack so you can continue to serve your clients, please go ahead to the CloudTask Marketplace, look for FlowChat, and we will be there to help you. Martin, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, and I hope to catch you on a future episode.
For sure. Pleasure is mine. Thanks for the opportunity.
Excellent, Martin. Bye bye.
Ciao.
All right. That was good.